Hello everybody. So in this specific video, we are going to discuss about management. Management means, what do we mean by management? We keep hearing this specific word frequently, right? So as part of this brief video, we will be discussing what is the meaning of management. Next, what are the different management functions? What are the different management functions? What are different levels of management in an organization? What are the different levels of management in an organization? Actually, what does this management do? What do they do in their day-to-day activities? That also we will be learning as part of this specific video. And next we will see what are the managerial skills to required for a for someone to be part of the management of the organization. What kind of skills are required for a manager, or what, no, someone to be part of the management in an organization? What kind of skills are required, right? In currently in 21st century. So these things we are going to learn as part of this specific brief video, right? To start with, first let us see what is the meaning of management. What is the meaning of management? See, basically management means what? It is about keeping things in order, keeping things in order, to monitor, to bring things onto track, to control. All these meanings will come when we say management. When we say management, management means to keep things in order, one after the other, to monitor, to bring things onto track. That means there is some deviation in the task execution, so we will try to bring them onto track. Next, to control the progress, to control the people, to control the process. All these things are part of management. All these things are part of management, right? So, so basically, now let us see what is the management functions. Management functions. See, basically, as part of there are certain management functions, right? Usually, what do they do? Any management. See, for example, there are here two words are there. One is business function, other one is management function. Other one is management function. Business functions means what all will come into picture: marketing, HR, finance, operations, engineering, IT. All these functions are business functions, right? Now let us see what is management function. See, management function means planning, organizing, staffing, directing, leading, motivating, coordinating, controlling. All these functions will come when we say management functions. Management functions. What are they? I will repeat once again. When we say management functions, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, leading, motivating, controlling, coordinating, all these functions will come into picture when we say management functions, right? If you take all these business functions, finance, HR, marketing, operations and all, in each of the business functions also all these management functions takes place. For example, HR planning, HR departmental staffing, right? HR controlling, coordinating, all these things. Similarly, finance planning, finance control, right? So financial coordination, right? All these things in each of the business function also, all these management functions will be carried out, in an organizational environment. Coordination is achieved with all these planning across the multiple functions. That is also possible, right? So basically, first one is planning. We discussed, right? As part of management functions, it is planning. Planning means, planning can be done at three different levels in an organization. One is strategic planning, other one is tactical planning, and third one is operational planning. Strategic planning, tactical planning, operational planning. Strategic planning means it is long term planning. It is about long term planning. It it thinks about 5 years, 10 years down the line, right? Operational tactical planning is medium term planning, probably 3 years or 2 years, like that will be there. It is tactical planning. And operational planning, day-to-day tasks scheduling takes place. Right. So like this, planning can be done at three different levels. Strategic planning, tactical planning, and operational planning. Right. So now let's move on and learn about what are the different levels of management in an organization. What are the different levels of management? Basically, if we say levels, top management, middle management, and entry level managers or supervisors, so we can say, categorized into three different levels in an organization. Management levels, if we say top management, middle management, and supervisory cadre or entry level managers, three different levels. What do they do? Different levels of management. First, top management, they do strategic planning. Middle managers do tactical planning. Entry level managers do operational planning. That means, what is the part of strategic planning? Top management does strategic planning. As part of strategic planning, what do they do? They devise plans and policies for the organization. Now let's come to middle management. Middle management does the tactical planning. As part of tactical planning, what do they do? They plan programs and projects for the organization. These programs and projects are derived from the plan of strategic plan done by the top management. These programs and projects which are being planned by the middle-level managers are derived from the policies and plans of the top management, which they have devised in the strategic planning. Right. Now let us see operational planning. Operational planning, what do they do? Operational managers, entry-level managers, they do operational planning. As part of operational planning, what do they do? Day-to-day activities, task scheduling, they do. All these day-to-day tasks and activities scheduling, they do. From where these activities and tasks have come? They are derived from the projects and programs which were done by the middle managers. That's how the hierarchy is. From policies and plans, programs and projects are derived. From programs and projects, this activities planning, tasks planning done by the operational managers will be there. So like this, there is a interconnection between what is that top management doing, what is the middle management doing, and what is the entry level managers are doing. From strategic planning, tactical planning is getting derived. From tactical planning, operational planning is getting derived. Like this, three different levels of managers do these kind of activities in an organizational environment. Three different levels of managers do in an organizational environment. Right. So now let's move on. What does management do? This specific question we will answer now. What does management do in day-to-day activities? What do these managers or management what at any level of management, what do they do in general in an organizational environment? Let us see. First, they take decisions. First of all, in day-to-day life, they take decisions. It can be, for example decision I will tell you. Should we launch this specific product in one marketing region or not? Which product we should develop, or which project from these 4-5 projects, which project we should take it, which project for execution, which project we should give the top priority. These kind of decisions will be taken by the managers. They take the decisions in day to day. Next, they do the problem solving. For example, in scheduling the tasks or logistics, they encountered a problem, then they pitch into solve the problems. Or troubleshooting is also part of the management of day to day. They devise strategies. We discussed it, right? At different levels of management, they are devising different strategies and plans. No, long-term planning will be there, middle term planning, short-term planning, all that they are doing management. Right. They devise plans and programs, policies, all these things for the organization. And also, these management, what is that they are doing? They are developing products and services using people, employees in the organization. They are developing employees and teams in the organization. They are using people, employees in the organization, and developing products and services. Right. So management is responsible for the profit and loss of the organization. Profit and loss, they are responsible. They have financial responsibility as well financial responsibility as well. Management, responsible to the shareholders who invested money in their company. Management is responsible to the shareholders who invested money into the company. So like this, in day-to-day activities, management does all these activities at different levels of management. Different things will take place. Different things will take place. And also the decisions what is that they are taking at top level management, middle level management, and lower level management, right? If, for example, a top level manager has to take a decision, that means he requires more information. He requires more information to take a decision by the top level manager. Operational level manager may require little information to take that specific decision, whereas the top management requires more information to arrive at a solution for a problem or a decision. That means top management requires more information. As you are going down, it will be lesser information required to take day-to-day decisions, right? Like that, the nature of the management day-to-day activities will happen, right? Now let's move on and learn about managerial skills. What are the managerial skills basically? So in particularly in 21st century, now as the technology is what we see, sometimes technology driving the different industries. Now the technology is driving different industries. For example, take banking and financial services industry. Technology is the how it is driving new financial instruments are coming into the market. New financial instruments are coming, so to deal all these things, technology is driving, different industries, education sector also, so many sectors, manufacturing, power transmission, all these sectors are being affected by the impacted by the technology, basically impacted by the technology in positive way in order to increase the productivity, right? So to deal with these kind of scenarios in the current situation, a management requires a different skill set, right? For example, one is taking initiative. Next, influential skills are very much required for a manager, right? Similarly, conceptual skills are more required for the top management. They should look at the bigger picture. Similarly, human skills, people skills are required at all the levels of the management, top level or medium level or entry level managers. All three levels of managers require equal amount of human skills, because when they delegate the tasks or when they track the progress, check with progress with the employees, they should have interaction skills, right? And also technical skills are also required for the management, because they should be able to understand the high level architecture and design. Right? So for that also technical skills are very much required. For any product development requires designing, right? Design and architecture. They should be able to visualize, what kind of technologies will be using. At least if they don't go to the low level of the technical implementation, they should have the high level architectural understanding, right? And also one more skill in specific to 21st century. What is that another skill required? Data analysis skill. Data analysis in the sense analytical skills are required. Analytical in the sense we should be able to interpretation skills. We should be able to see the data and interpret and apply those things to our management decisions, right? Whatever decision we are going to take, if we take a decision based on the data, evidence of the data, that will be more effective. That is the current trend basically in 21st century. Taking decisions for the organization based on the data, evidence of the data, that is most important. And one more thing is, in this current scenario, the another skill required is the emotional intelligence by the from the manager side, management side. What is the emotional intelligence? Basically, emotional intelligence is the character which will distinguish a great leader from the good leader. Emotional intelligence is the character which will distinguish a great leader from the good leader. That is the reason emotional intelligence is skill. And empathy, having empathy, these two are also important for a great manager, right? So, and one more thing is, see, if you are an entrepreneur, entrepreneurs, one more, both manager and entrepreneur take initiative, whereas risk taking ability is more for the entrepreneur than the manager. Risk taking ability is more for the entrepreneur, because the entrepreneur is doing experimentation in day-to-day activities, whereas manager is doing what is it he is doing. Manager, he is task oriented, he is limiting his scope to the organization given task. He is task oriented manager, whereas entrepreneur is doing experimentation day to day. His risk taking ability is more for the entrepreneur than the because the manager looks at the job security aspect as well. When he limit himself to his given role and execute, being task oriented, he will try to achieve the performance, required performance, in order to achieve the organizational goal. That's what they do. So like this, different skill set is required. Risk taking ability, initiative, influential skills, interpersonal skills, interaction skills, very much required for managers, right? So far, what is it we discussed? We have discussed about what is the meaning of management. We have seen. Next, we have seen what are the different management functions, like planning, organizing, all these functions. Next, we have seen what are the different levels of management. We have seen. Next, top level management, middle level, like that. Next, what does management do? That also we learned, and some of the managerial skills required in the current scenario also we have learned as part of this specific video, right? For example, can be example organizations can be top management at Reliance Industries, or operational managers, Airtel Communications, like this. Every different organizations in different industries are having managers, management, top management, middle management, and operational level managers in different industries. They are there, right? So okay, that's all for this specific topic. Let's move on. Thank you everybody.